Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Thursday. It's 4 o'clock, so you know what that means. Time for another weekly chat with Pat. This week, we're talking maintenance. We just came out of winter. Winters are rough on trucks, especially up in this neck of the woods. You want your truck to be ready for summer. You don't want to be broken down with no AC when it's 110 degrees in Texas. So, Paul, what are some tips to get drivers going through here?
I think the main thing that I would always recommend going into summer is tires, Pat. Looking at your tire pressures, making sure your tire pressures are set to the recommended pressures. Tire condition, making sure that you're not seeing any dry rot, anything like that. AC, make sure the AC is working. Obviously, most folks are probably already hitting that already, but making sure your AC is working. And then really the other thing you hit on is the weather up here. So fifth wheel maintenance, that's another big one. Making sure your fifth wheels are cleaned, lubricated, not over lubricated. That's a big issue that a lot of drivers see. You'll see that the fifth wheels gumming up, all that kind of stuff, road debris, stuff like that getting stuck in the fifth wheels. Clean it out for summertime. I'm always a big believer that less lubrication is better than more on a fifth wheel. So, keep it lubricated, don't over lubricate it, and for the most part, it should work well for you.
Yeah, and I know in the wintertime up here, we see, big gobs of frozen grease get in there and prevent it from locking, or we get ice in there. But, everybody always assumes more grease is better.
Yeah,
but it's not. We don't want all that grease in there.
Right, you get all that sand from the road and all the dirt, debris kicked up in there, and it just becomes a big gummed up pile, and it doesn't want to release or it doesn't want to lock, and then folks are having to deal with that. So,
if it was a sealed unit, you wouldn't have that problem.
Right.
It's open in the elements, and it picks up all that road grime.
Yeah.
Tires, another big thing. You see a lot of just even regular cars come out of wintertime.
Right.
That first 100 degree, they're blowing tires.
That's a big thing for us. I hate to say this, but it's kind of like what we consider our tire season, right? That's where you're going to see the largest amount of tire failures, and low tire pressures is the number one cause of tire failures for Class 8 fleets, whatnot. Checking tire pressures is huge. If you keep them properly maintained, you'll have less wear, less flexing, less, that kind of stuff that builds up heat. The excessive road heat then causes the tires to fail. So it's one of the things that help keep them productive and help keep them on the road and, have less failures. Because I don't know that there's a way to prevent all tire failures, but you can definitely have an impact on it, definitely on the tractor side by checking those tires, daily. Fluctuating tire pressures will go up, a few pounds either direction with the tire or the ambient temperature. So just keeping on top of that is a big thing for tires, and it also helps fuel economy for the independent contractors and the company trucks.
And as a contractor, you want your tires to last as long as you can because they're not cheap. And when you're running with lower pressure than recommended, they're not going to last as long.
Yeah, tire pricing is going up all the time. That's one of the crazy things that's going on in our industry right now is the cost of raw materials is going up. So tire prices go up. So the more they can do to maintain that, those tire pressures, the better off they'll be for sure.
Absolutely. So the good news is drivers, you can get your truck through one of our shops. Our mechanics take care of all this. They'll look at everything, make sure that your truck's up to snuff and ready for summer.
Sure.
Still need to check your tire pressure on a daily, weekly basis, but get your truck through one of our shops. I know you guys have done some restructuring with pricing and stuff to be more competitive.
Yeah, so one of the things that we just completed, we're getting ready to roll out is some menu pricing for independent contractors, so that all of the services that we do on our trucks will be one price consistently. It won't be one price here in Eagan, one price in Lancaster. It'll be the same price. We're going to be competitive on our pricing. We're going to actually be lower than what the TAs, the Loves, the truck stops of the world are out there, so that we can beat their pricing, perform better maintenance than what they're doing. We can do all the campaigns on the trucks. We can do all the warranty. We're now certified on our engine and chassis warranties for all of our OEMs. So we can help file more warranty in-house for the independendent contractors, as well as, get the parameter updates that the TA and the Loves can't do. So our transmissions, engines, all the time coming out with new parameters that we have to update. So that's a big thing that we can keep on top of that. We can do any service that comes due on a truck versus some of the over-the-road truck stop, whatnot. They can only do select, oil changes, whatnot. The DPF cleanings, we're gonna price those that is more competitive than a dealership. So that's really what we want to do, is be able to we have to maintain the trucks, right? So we want to make sure that we do it cost effective and that we're doing a quality service and helping the folks maintain these trucks and be successful.
And now that you're able to do some warranty work, that really helps out, independent contractors as well, because
Yep.
now they don't have to bring it here to be told, you got to take that to the dealer. Right. Now we can do that work here, which is going to save them time and money in the long run.
We're still going to be careful on what we do on the engine side. We're not going to do internal engine work. Anything that bolts onto the engine, we can do it on all of our three of our OEMs now. Anything that bolts onto the chassis, we can do warranty on all of those on all three of our OEMs now. Internal engine work, we're going to stay away from that just because of the time of those repairs. It's, typically you're talking 20 plus hours of labor. So we want to make sure that we're limiting what we're doing on the internal engine work. And there's just a lot of specialty tooling training that goes into that stuff. The bolt-on stuff, though, we're very confident that we are trained and we're ready to do those at a high level, and we'll be successful doing them.
Sounds good to me. So remember, drivers, get your truck through one of our shops. Let them get it checked out. Make sure, you just made it through winter. Let them check your truck out. Make sure your brakes are up to snuff. We know in the wintertime brakes get frozen up here and you drag them a little bit. They'll break loose, but it wears them linings down. And you need to make sure that they're good.
You make a good point on brakes too. The other thing with winter is the rust jacking on the brakes, and it kind of gets that rust buildup between the metal surface and the friction material of the brakes, and it can cause it to raise up, and that can actually cause some issues with them cracking prematurely and whatnot. So that's another good thing to keep eyes on, is just making sure that they're not seeing that excessive, kind of gap growing between the metal and the friction material, and should be help them be more successful, with the DOT officers as well, for sure.
I agree. Most people think winter's the hardest season on a truck. I personally believe it's summer.
Right.
Your truck's going to idle a lot more during the summer. Everything's hotter. Your brakes heat up faster. All that stuff is going to fail at some point.
Truck sensors.
Let's just stay on top of it.
Truck sensors hate heat. I'm going to tell you right now, that's you're going to have the most sensor failures during the summertime. Turbo sensors, all that kind of good stuff. Summertime, we'll definitely see an uptick on those. So it's something to just keep an eye out for. And it's something that we will deal with, and we'll make quick repairs and whatnot. But just something to be aware of, that heat is an enemy of a lot of things on these trucks anymore. And with the after treatment kind of keeping that heat, kind of contained in the engine, it's not getting any better for us out there. So
sounds good. Well, again, thanks for being here again, Paul. I mean, Absolutely. This is really important stuff, so I'm glad you're here and you can share this stuff with our drivers. So remember, drivers, get your truck into one of our shops, get it checked out. Let's make sure, we got a road check coming up first week of May. Let's make sure you're up to snuff for that. But we want to also make sure that your truck's in good shape, that you're going to get through the summer without any major breakdowns. So again, we are currently still looking for drivers out there. So, you get that referral by referring somebody in here. I'm going to make you all a deal right now. By the first Thursday in May, when we do my show, if you get 50 referrals, you got to use my name, saying that Pat sent you. On that first show on Thursday, I'm going to let the head of recruiting throw pie in my face. We'll do it live. So I want 50 referrals by that day. You guys know what to do. Call them in, tell them that I sent you. Remember, drivers out there, don't be so busy out there building a life, you actually forget to have a life for yourself. Catch you next week.